Khan, welcome. He's often called the king of Bollywood, and almost everything he touches turns to gold. But he certainly faced a lot of challenges on the path to his remarkable stardom. This week on 101, meet the man long considered the Indian film industry's hottest property, Shahrukh Khan. Few could have predicted the incredible success of this baby, born in India's capital, New Delhi, although Shahrukh Khan showed early promise as a performer at home. His parents, Mir Taj Mohammed and Latif Fatima, a photogenic couple, passed away while he was still young, leaving him feeling a little lost. Shahrukh's passion for and ability in sports were never fully realized because of early injuries, pushing him into other interests such as acting. A trip to India's film capital, Mumbai, launched him quickly into Bollywood's limelight, and he continued to knock out one blockbuster after another, from Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, one of his many famous collaborations with his close producer friend Karan Johar, to colourful epics such as Devdas. In spite of his remarkable omnipresence, at heart Shahrukh Khan remains a relatively private person and dedicated family man, and remarkably down to earth. Not bad for a superstar who initially thought he'd just try out a little acting. Shahrukh Khan, what a delight to talk with you.
Thank you, Riz, and thank you to call me on the show, and really wonderful to see you again.
Now, not to massage your ego, because it's widely known, you're pretty much at the top of the game. Your status as an actor is way beyond pretty much anyone else has, globally, because the way Indians are so loyal as well. But you've managed to stay at the top for quite a long time now. What is it do you think that you do that keeps you so in tune with the audience?
I don't know, my wife tells me I should keep my mouth shut. that will help her to maintain that position, or maybe that's it. But honestly speaking, I think I keep it very simple, Riz. I've always kept it very simple. So I wake up in the morning and I'm like, can I get that one shot right? Like I thought 20 years ago, that I hope I get that shot right. And I keep telling my wife, you know, I find it strange, I'm 44 now, and I wear makeup to work.
Hey,
maybe okay.
Me too.
Yeah, so we are all the same. Yeah, but I find it that, you know, I've kept it so simple. I'm not bothered about you know, what I'm going to do through the world of cinema for the world. No, I just want to make a film in which I am able to tell you a good story. So I think that really, keeping it simple and keeping it real, like everyone says, a lot of people in America keep it simple, keep it real. I think that really is the mantra, nothing else.
Do you still feel challenged as an actor, though, considering all the diverse roles you've done?
I do now, because, you know, I've reached an age where I'm noticing people are not giving me the kind of roles which were just run-of-the-mill and happy-go-lucky, you know, just come and let your hair fly in the air and sing a song in Switzerland and take the girl in your arms and run. Suddenly, I've passed that age, I realized that. And my friends and filmmakers now don't come with, it's a love story, or it's an action film. I think they are challenging me.
Let me take you back in time. Born in New Delhi, what were those early years like?
I remember them I think after I was 6 years old. I remember it very vividly because Delhi, beautiful cold fog. And I remember sitting on the ledge of this, you know, Delhi houses have verandas, small bungalows. So I used to sit on this wall, and my father told me that girls used to pass by and I used to blow kisses to them and say, sweetheart. So I remember that. And I remember my father, there was a girl who walked into a house. This is my first memory. And it's very, very vivid. A girl walked into a house from the convent of Jesus and Mary. She must be 9th or 10th. And she walked in and told my dad that your son sits on this wall and blows kisses to me. There was this young, handsome man next to a house called Subhash. I still remember his name, Subhash Bhaiya, we used to call him. And my dad thought she's come in the wrong house. Obviously, it's that young boy who's blowing kisses to her. He said, wait, let my son come. And I was taking a bath. And I came running in. I was 6 years old. And I walked in, and my father, like, you know, this is my kid, darling, and you made a fool of yourself by coming here. I walked in and said, mwah, hey, sweetheart. So he tells me it's one of the most embarrassing moments of my life when he was alive. Post that, I remember being with my parents, only hearing that my dad used to be successful. I was with my dad, and I'm very proud of this. I'm very proud of this. I think my dad was the most successful failure in the world.
I read that.
Yeah, because I was so proud because he spent a lot of time with me. And he would not have money. We would travel in buses, looking forward to buying a half ticket for me because he didn't have the money. You know, change. He used to take out these really, really small 5 paisa coins which were dirty, and he would just pay that off and get me onto the train. Didn't have food money, so he would give me groundnuts, peanuts. And I'm not saying we were poor, it's just that he was like that. But he taught me really good things, really, really nice things.
Just listening to you, I know he was a very, very big influence in your life, and it comes out in the passion when you talk about him. Very sadly, you lost him when you were about 15 years old.
Yeah.
What did that do to you?
I thought the world was very unfair. I mean, if I talk about it, I'll start crying because I was very young, didn't expect it. He was 52. You know, suddenly he had cancer. And all kids think that their fathers are superheroes. I never thought he'll die. I thought, because he was a tough guy, 6'2", very good looking, and really tough. He genuinely was a Pathan, so very tough. And I thought nothing can happen to him. He was the only patient, which I remember again, who didn't lose his hair with chemotherapy. So we would walk into the hospital, and it was very scary because sometimes the beds used to be empty. He was on a common ward, and you'd walk in, and my dad would just look at us, and he'd do this, roll his eyes, and say that he's gone. And sometimes you walked in, and our dad wasn't there, but he'd gone for chemotherapy. But it was really harrowing. And then one fine evening, he just died. He went back to the hospital and he died. And I remember our driver had left because of the odd hours. Our driver left the car and he went away. And I had to see my father's dead body and drive my mom back home. And I didn't know how to drive. I was 15. So I sat in the car and I started driving. And we reached home and mom said, when did you learn how to drive? And I said, I don't know. I just did. I'd never learned how to drive. And it was this strange thing that my father had died. I was driving a car, and my sister was really shocked. She fell sick. She's never recovered. She still hasn't recovered. She's much better off. But it was really, really shocking, really shocking. And it's something I've never been able to get over. And I tell everyone asks me my belief in God. So at the age of 15, I started getting angry with God. I used to be like, Allah, why did you do this to me? While I was still angry and fighting with God, everyone does, my mom died.
Yeah, soon after, wasn't it?
So I continued, still being angry with God, that this is really unfair. And then since she's died a year later, and till now, 20 years, I'm the hugest star with so much love. I've been thanking God. So my relationship with God has been so long, fighting, anger, disturbance, thank you, that I think, suddenly become a great believer in God,
Your parents were a great influence in many ways because they represent what India is about to so many people. And that is that though you're a Muslim family, they taught you to read other religions and understand other religions too.
Well, my father was really wonderful like that, and so was my mother. He would take me for namaz. He would take me to the Eidgahs. We did everything that a Muslim is supposed to do. We did our wazu, we did our namaz, we read the Quran, everything. We were a fairly strict, proper Muslim family, and everything was followed to the T. But in the same breath, I was acting in Ram Leelas as part of the Hanuman Sena. So I knew the Hindu culture. And because I was in a Christian school, I was learning the Bible also. And my father would tell me, and strangely what happened is, when I read the Gita and the Ramayana, it was in Hindi. I understood it. When I read the Bible, it was in English. I understood it. And my father suddenly turned around and said, you know what, you got to understand Islam also in English. So read it. Read all the books and make up your mind. Know that you're Muslim, and Islam means tolerance. So first thing is get tolerant towards all the religions. So I try to do that with my kids. Of course, it's changed. I make them read all this on the internet now. It's all there. But I try to teach them. So that was really, really wonderful of them.
Interesting you mentioned about Hindi because that was your worst subject in school, wasn't it? Until your mother gave you the incentive of studying it so you could go to a movie.
Yeah, she told me that I used to get 0 or 1 out of 10. Those marks were out of 10.
You were good in other subjects though?
I was good in other subjects, yeah. I was good.
So
and teachers used to love me.
Hindi was a problem subject.
Hindi was pathetic. Hindi was pathetic. And also I think I had this little, being in an English-speaking school, I had this superiority complex. I looked down upon, we were cooler, way cooler than to learn Hindi and Urdu and stuff like that. We used to speak Urdu at home, Persian, Arabic. But I just never looked at it. Then mom said, you get 10 on 10 and I'll take you to watch a movie. And the movie was Joshila with Devanand Saab. And I just found out 6 months back that Mr. Yash Chopra had directed it. And it was an action film, and he said, I don't know why I directed that film. I have no to do. I've never done an action film. I just did this film. It was shocking. I didn't know he had directed it, and I worked so closely with him. He just told me 6 months back. He had read in an interview. So I got 10 on 10, and it was a spelling exam. And I went to see my first movie in Vivek Cinema Hall in Pusa Road near Delhi, Rajendra, and I was thrilled. It's a great film.
But it's interesting because then the life changed. You went from New Delhi to Bombay, Mumbai, as it is now.
Mother died in 91, and 81 dad had died, 91 mom died exactly 10 years later. And I was very depressed. And by then, television, some work had happened, and people started calling me, and the first call came from Hema Malini ji, and I wouldn't believe it. She'd say, hello, this is Hema, and I would like, it can't be, there's somebody's pulling my leg. And then after mom died, I took one of those calls seriously and really asked, is that Hema Malini ji? And she said, yes, I want you to do a film. I didn't want to be in films, and I say that with not being derogatory, just that I didn't think I was cut out for Hindi films. I wasn't that good. But I came to Mumbai, told my girlfriend then, who's my wife now, and my sister, who was very unwell, very, very unwell. And I told a few of the family members that I go to Mumbai for a change 1 year. I told my friends in theatre, I'm going for 1 year, and I'll go there, and just for, I don't want to, Delhi reminds me of my mom and dad. Small house, I had nothing left. And I'm like, I just go for a year. My wife was against it. She said, oh, you'll become a movie star, then you sleep around with heroines and you'll do nonsense. So I'm like, listen, 1 year, I just want to go. So she's okay, I'll get married to you, we'll go. So she got married to me. I came for a year. My friends are still waiting. Whenever I meet them, they say, Shahrukh, you said you're coming back after a year. And I'm like, yeah, as soon as they throw me out, I'll go. Right now, they're employing me.
Well, things change. I'm going to ask you more about that in a moment. We're taking a very short break here. More with Shahrukh Khan when we return. Welcome back. You're watching 101. We're speaking with one of India's leading stars, Shahrukh Khan. Where was the turning point for you? Where was it that you felt things really changed in your life?
I did television for lark. I was doing theatre. One didn't take it so... I wanted to be a sportsman. I would have dedicated my life to be representing India in hockey. I loved hockey and I wanted to be a hockey player. But I hurt myself and parents dead. Unfortunately, in India at that point of time, there was nothing like a professional sportsman. I didn't know where I was headed. I did a television series because they were paying well, 1,500 rupees per episode, which is a lot of money. And that became, I remember I was driving down in a three-wheeler after the first couple of episodes. And there were two women driving next to me. And suddenly they looked at outside and said, Abhimanyu Rai, Abhimanyu Rai. And I was shocked. I'd never felt that there would be people who don't know me who'll just kind of smile looking at me. And that's the first time I realized, even before I gave my first autograph, I thought, wow, this is good. This is nice. People are liking me more than I think they should. And I still believe that. I still think so. I mean, that thought has never left my mind. I'm getting a little more than I deserve in terms of people loving me. And I just said, okay, maybe I'll do some more. And I wasn't so trained an actor or so good. I was just only trying. And then when I came to Mumbai, people gave me roles which were very radically different. I was a bad guy. And I found that nice. I was from theatre. I used to take things seriously. And I'm like, yeah, to play a bad guy, low light, eyes like this. The theatre guys are like this, morbid and black. So I'm like, yeah, that would be nice. My friends will be very proud of me. And everyone told me, what are you doing? You can't become a villain. You'll be finished. But I was here only for a year. So I said, okay, I just do it for a year. And they became huge successes. And then suddenly it started being told, oh, he's a different kind of an actor. So I just felt really, really, really accepted, loved.
Awards quite a big thing, of course, in your profession, and 1992, Dewana was your first major film award. How did things change? Were people paying attention to awards in those days and saying, okay, this is the next one?
Oh, yeah, a lot. I mean, people said you paid for your awards. People said it's difficult to get an award. People said you had to be really nice to the companies who were doing these awards, media companies. And I didn't know anyone. And I do remember that I'm at fault, and I'll say it today, I haven't said it ever, that the gentleman who was heading the award, I remember I met him once and I said, you know something, you're a cheat. You only pay, and I hadn't got an award. And he had said nothing to me, poor guy, and he's a friend now. And I said, you're a cheat, and you pay, I've heard you give awards to people who pay you money, and I don't have money, okay? But I have the talent, and all nonsense I told him, I remember in Mud Island. And I felt so stupid when I got two of them in the same year. I was given an award and I felt really humbled and really stupid. And till date, I haven't gone and told him this. It's the first time I'm mentioning it. That I couldn't go up to him and say, I'm really sorry I said that. Because when I got the award, the next day I was told, see, he must have paid for it. So I was like, uh-oh. But it felt really nice. I mean, I remember I had this image of this film director who's made Three Idiots now, the producer, Vinod Chopra, was a close friend. When I was young and in Delhi, my mom was alive. We used to watch a lot of TV. And I saw him take his mother, old mother, onto the stage to accept his first Filmfare Award. And I do remember that I got mine first. And my only image in life was, I'd like to take my mom on stage. And I thought she'll always be young. I didn't think she'll be that old. And when I got it, she wasn't alive. So I dedicated that award to her, saying that I'm going to become such a big movie star that wherever you are in the heaven, I'll be on such big screens, and I'm very sentimental about it. Wherever you are, you'll be able to see, I can see him clearly now without glasses. He's doing well. So I dedicated that to her, and I've got like 13 of them now, and I've got lots of other awards from other companies, I think 60, 70 of them.
What's unique about you, though, is that unlike many who in the Bollywood system are part of a family or a tradition, have got this sort of... You're actually a rank outsider, really.
Well, I'm still an outsider. I'll be honest. I'm quite a misfit. When I started, like I said, because I had nothing to lose, so I did some radically strange different roles. And once I did that, I think it gained me in confidence that, okay, you can be different. I would do roles with film and filmmakers who were not considered commercial. I did offbeat films, and I did films with newcomers. And suddenly I did romantic films oppositely. So somewhere down the line, I think I gained in confidence that being from outside is actually an advantage because you have nothing to lose and nothing to prove. I think the issue would be, inshallah, that when my children want to be actors, my daughter and my son, they will be having this pressure that, their family, they have to keep up to the name. I had to keep up to nothing. I have to keep up to nothing. I can just come, nothing to lose, you know. I think the advantage of a person from outside Mumbai or outside the family business of Mumbai is that, you know, you can do anything. Nobody will know if you lost. But the pressure of being, I feel really bad for the kids, girls and boys, who are from the industry. You know, everybody's comparing. The dad was better. No. He's not as good. He is good, but I feel the pressure is immense and very unfair. So I think the good part was this. And because I was from outside Riz, I could play it off the cuff. I didn't know what there was to lose, actually. So now I know. Now I'm scared. Now I'm quite wimpy. Now I'm worried about the career. Now I think 10 times. But that time I wasn't scared. I wish I could be like that even now.
How do you cope with the scandals, or I say scandals, but the gossip and the stuff that the press is really always keen to try and dig out stuff and pitch you against so-and-so, or say your life is like this or you do this? How do you cope with all that?
Earlier when I was young and when they took out gossip about me, then I would fight with them physically. You know, I was like a gunda from Delhi, so I'd go and bash them up and get caught. I've been jailed also once for misbehaving with one magazine, and a couple of times I've been, treated quite badly, and rightly so. That was younger and stupider. Now I'm older and less stupid. Now I've gotten over it. Also, I've not done very many scandalous things. So it irks you. And then, with contemporary actors, it's been going on for 20 years. Every year, I'm told that a young newcomer is coming and removing me. Every year I'm told I'm too old, so I'm getting removed. And every year, I like it what Govinda, the actor, once said. He said, "Dunya kuch bhi keh de. Tu aake chakka hi marta hai." So, whatever the world may say, you come and finish it off with a sixer. So I like to believe that, I can rest all controversies with my work, and that's how I see it.
You also have had incredible success overseas. Does it surprise you sometimes you get a medal from France or the top honor in Malaysia?
Yeah, it is really shocking because, some of the countries that I've got medals from, they don't even understand the language. Yeah, and so it's really strange, and I can feel the love, like in Malaysia, Indonesia, France, Germany.
You always were passionate about sports, as you mentioned, but the injuries stop you really taking it up. Because you were a good cricketer at one time.
I was a very good wicketkeeper, bad batsman, but I kept wickets very well.
So and now you're now owner of cricket team.
Yes, now I have a team. This is what I said to you. If when a lot of people ask me, you're such a big star now, don't you feel that your privacy, you don't want to just walk on the beach and just enjoy the sunset? So I told them, I said jokingly, please, people think I'm being pompous. I said, see, now I'm such a big star. If I want a beach, I buy it. So it was like this. So I want to play cricket. I said, okay, that's what I said. I said, I couldn't play cricket. I've hurt myself. And now I'm such a big star. If I want to play cricket, I buy a team. But all things aside, I really want, in my own small way, to create a professional platform for sports in the country. Cricket, soccer, hockey. Because when I wanted to be a hockey player, I could not be. So I'm hoping that if I bring in a bit of glamour, cricket is something which is like a religion in this country. So people love it. I'll take this platform and I would like my son to say at the age of 16, Dad, I don't want to study, I want to be a soccer player. And I'd say, okay, go for it, earn your money, have a great life, and study a bit so that you can read every page of the newspaper.
Now, just an aside, I know you and I have talked about this off camera before, but the sort of delight of arriving at airports in America and finding that suddenly you actually were the center of a diplomatic incident in 2008. Just how did that leave you feeling about the way, when traveling as a person like you do? What's in store for you?
The only problem I have is, see, I wake up late and I'm always nearly missing flights. When I'm in America, especially the domestic flights, and it's very ironic that, for the international flights, it's still okay. But domestic flights, I have to go 2.5 hours earlier because my name will be picked up. I'm going to be searched. And it's a little embarrassing that, earlier on I wasn't used to it, but now I'm very well prepared. Sometimes you had strange things in your handbags, and then they open it and they're like, what is this? And you're like, oh, I don't want you to see this. It's odd. So now I have to pack my handbag. I have to pack my handbag with a lot more care because I know it's going to be open. I need to go to the airports earlier. But having said that, I think I philosophize it now a little. I'm like, okay, this is the world we've created. And a part of the world is going to be angered, paranoid, and disturbed because of the other part of the world. We can't change it. These are the rules we are making, so I have to subject myself to it. Having said that, whenever I have to travel to America, I'd rather do 7, 8 jobs. I line them up. And I say, okay, let me go now, get frisked, do whatever I have to do in security, finish off all the jobs and come back so that I don't keep going back in America. But other places also, I think the name does crop up. In France, it does. I've been honored there, but it does. In England, it does sometimes. A lot of Asians who love me. But I have to follow the process, and you say, okay, the kids enjoy it. They're taken to the side, they feel special.
Couldn't it be more ironic, though, that to get stopped promoting a film about profiling, My Name is Khan, and of course, the whole twist in the
Yeah, I was finding it very embarrassing, and I didn't want to say it. There was this conspiracy theory, it could be because of the film. I'm like, no. See, I was just mentioning to them, and I didn't say it, that, the film is about this. I said, I just made a film here. Of course, the gentleman that time asked, oh, you can make films in America? So I said, yeah. Then I got scared that maybe we've launched this company here and it's illegal. So I said, yeah, maybe, whatever. But yeah, it's quite ironic and it's strange. In Hindi, they say, jaisa des, vaisa bhes. In Rome, do as the Romans do. So yeah, okay, you go to Rome, you have to do as the Romans do. It's okay.
I always feel stupid asking this question, which I always end the show with when I'm sitting in front of someone like you. But if you were to be remembered a certain way, if you were to leave a legacy, what would it be? What would you like it to be?
I'd like to be remembered as someone who tried and tried very hard. I'm always trying. I always say, tell my wife also, even there's a little book I'm writing, and I've written it, that please remember me as someone who tried and tried very hard. Whether I succeeded, I don't want to be remembered as. Did I fail? I hope to God I'm not remembered as that. Did I do well or not is not important. If people can remember me as, he was a trier. He tried very hard. I don't mind some people turning around blaming me. I think he tried too hard, or he tries too hard. A lot of people say that, he tries too hard. That's okay, but at least I tried. I'd like to be remembered. My legacy should be to my kids, especially. To be really honest, if people don't remember me otherwise, it's okay. I think they've given me enough. But I really would like my kids to remember me as, my dad, he tried. He tried very hard, yeah.
Shahrukh Khan, I wish you a long and very successful life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Really a pleasure.
Thank you.